Don't you touch that mouse. Gun Talk's not done yet, not by a long shot. Thanks for hanging around. Man, have we got a treat for you. This is the Gun Talk After Show. This is what we call, down in Louisiana, lagniappe. A little something extra for free. This is where you can call in and ask those questions that are maybe too hot for the radio, or just take a little extra time to explain. So, welcome back in, Tom, Jim Kinsey, our show producer, Michael, and Michelle. Let's do this, guys. Take it away.
All right, the first after show of the new year. Hello, guys.
Happy New Year.
Howdy.
Hello.
Happy New Year. I got Michelle, Michael, and Jim all here. So what'd you guys do? Did you go out like I did and try to shoot a whole magazine worth of AK-47 in the air?
Yeah, because we're pretty responsible.
Yeah, actually, we had a guy do that in New Orleans. That's some kind of weird tradition in New Orleans. And yes, they have made it against the law. Duh. And yes, they got a guy and arrested him. Duh.
Wow.
Yeah, last year we lost an Amish girl here in town. She was shot by somebody. Bullet traveled over a mile going down the road in her buggy, bothering nobody. People are idiots.
Some people truly are idiots, and they do need to be removed from society for, if not for their own good, at least for our good.
Yeah.
So there you go. Which takes us back to, I got a little preachy there, but I was just talking about becoming what I call a gun safety fanatic. I think fanatic is only barely enough. It's certainly not too much. What do you guys think?
I don't think you can be too much of a fanatic. I mean, I think training is crucial and key to every moment of life.
You know, if you think about so many things that people invest time, money, energy, and feeling and emotion into, I'm not going to say anything in particular, but hobbies, sports, whatever. Why would this be any less different? In fact, it should be more important.
Yeah, this is the one that can keep you alive or keep you from making a mistake that ruins a life. So, yeah.
It's not like crocheting where if you make a goof, you back up a step and have at it.
Well, exactly. And people are out playing golf or tennis or working out or doing their hobbies or, if you said, okay, I'm going to not watch one TV show a week. I'm going to have 1 hour a week that I'm going to just work on this. That could be worthwhile, just all by itself. 1 hour a week. There you go. So which show are we giving up? I'm not giving up Celebrity Apprentice. I just got to tell you. I mean,
that's where all celebrities go to die.
Makes me want to throw up. Oh, my gosh.
How do you really feel, Tom?
I mean, come on. I'm the Donald, and I am going to fund a show so it can all be about me. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah, no, there it is.
You'll have that.
It's that and Dancing with the Stars. That's when you know your career is over.
There you go. That's exactly right. So, all right, did you guys get any guns or anything cool for Christmas?
I actually traded a gun.
What?
I never sell guns, so I decided I'm going to stick with that.
Okay.
I'm not going to sell any guns. So I traded one.
What went out? What came in?
A 40 cal Glock went out, and a 62-inch flat screen TV came in.
So he's not giving up any TV shows.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to a new training system for Jim. We're going to get you an airsoft gun with a laser on it, and every time the bad guys come on your new 60 whatever it is inch screen, you're going to jump up and issue verbal commands and put the laser on them.
We're going to have to get an adapter, but I have an original NES and Duck Hunt at home. What could be more perfect?
That's me.
That's right. We won't ever be able to get him to do anything, but...
That's right.
Well, how's that different from now?
You can watch First-Person Defender in big screen now.
There you go. Once the action starts, you'll be jumping behind the couch and
I'll jump behind my wife and daughter like a real man.
There you go. That's right. Did we told you about one of our episodes in First Person Defender where the guy did that? I mean, he left his fiance, or actually his wife, out there in the middle of a mass shooting, and he took off running and went to cover. Well, I mean, it was really good tactics if he'd been alone.
Well, wasn't that after he said he would do everything to defend her?
Oh, yeah. He said, I'd do anything to defend her. I'm there. And she said, yeah, he's there, and he's got me and all that. And then after it happened, she said, I kind of expected that.
Good setup.
Can this marriage be saved?
I just hope that they rode separately,
Oh, speaking of saving, let's save our callers here and get to them.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go line one. Scott's up first. He's out of Toledo, Ohio, right there by you guys. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good, Tom. Can I get in on your revolver conversation there that you had a while ago?
Absolutely.
All right. This comes from a hard-learned safety lesson from a 4-inch Model 29 Smith & Wesson. When you there's a part in the lockwork, I believe it's called a rebound slide. It keeps the hammer from resting in a firing position with the firing pin sticking through the frame. When you cock it and you pull the trigger and you lower the hammer, if you hold the trigger all the way down, you'll see the firing pin poke through there where the primer would be. But if you cock it and you pull the trigger and you let go of the trigger as you're lowering the hammer, the hammer will not fall all the way.
Correct.
It won't. The firing pin will not poke through.
So let's make sure people understand what we're saying. If you cock the hammer, we're talking specifically, this is on a Smith & Wesson, but it may be true of others. If you cock the hammer and now you want to lower the hammer without firing the gun, you cock the hammer, you have to pull the trigger. That's how you release it, and then you lower the hammer. But while you're lowering the hammer, you need to fully release the trigger as the hammer is going down slowly, right?
Right.
All right, now let me tell you how I do it, because I'm just paranoid as all get out, okay? I know that to be true. What I do is I hold the pistol, or in this case, a revolver, in my right hand, cock the hammer, and then when I'm ready to lower the hammer, I take my left thumb and I stick it in front of the hammer of the gun. That way, if somehow I screw up and pull the trigger and the hammer flies forward, it's going to whack the devil out of my thumb, but the gun's not going to go off.
That's exactly right. And the lesson I learned was don't do that with a loaded 44.
What happened?
I was having lockwork problems. Now, when I would cock it single action, the hammer would lock back before the cylinder would rotate all the way and lock into position.
It's called a timing issue, yeah.
I thought, well, like an idiot, I'd put 6 cartridges in there, and the weight of the cartridges would, carry the cylinder over, and the cylinder did lock. But my thumb came off the hammer, and I still got the bullet. I found it in my attic.
Where it was pointed at the ceiling?
No, it was pointed straight across. I was upstairs in my attic, and it went through some garment bags full of shirts and a couple of the rafters, and scared the hell out of me, too, I'll tell you that.
So what did we learn from this, Scott?
Unload the gun. leave it unloaded. And after I got it back from having the lockwork retimed, I was messing around with it to see how you are actually, what happens if you do this and this and this, unloaded the whole time, of course. And that's how I found out that if you release the trigger, the hammer doesn't fall all the way.
Right. You've got to but you got to release the trigger while you're slowly lowering the hammer, because otherwise you're just pulling the trigger and it'll go down and go off. Yeah.
When it first releases the hammer, that's when you let go of the trigger.
Yep, exactly. Scott, thank you for the call and for sharing that. It's not easy to admit that you've done something like that, but I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, I do the same thing on pistols with external hammers. When I have to drop the hammer and I've got a live round down there, I stick my thumb, and I've pinched my thumb several times. But
better that.
Right.
Yeah, I think. I always say and people say, well, I don't fear guns. I have a healthy respect for them. Okay, I don't care what you call it. But if you aren't worried about safety with them at all times, I would say you're not paying attention. And some people say, well, I'm not worried. I just pay attention. Okay, put whatever your name on it you want. But I'm going to point it a safe direction. I'm going to put my thumb in front of the hammer, and then I'm going to slowly, because what I don't want is to be lowering the hammer and have it slip out from my thumb, and then it flies forward and the round goes off. You know what it is? When you do this long enough, you hear all these stories, just like Scott. And everybody, you go, and that's how that happened, and that's how that happened. And after a while, you get to thinking, I'm probably not as infallible as I think I am.
Yeah, and do you want to be the next story?
Yeah, no kidding. So anyway, but yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, and also that goes to knowing your gun. One of the things people don't do, weirdly enough, is they don't read the manual that comes with the gun. If you bought a gun used, and it didn't come with a manual, contact the manufacturer. They'll send you a manual for free.
And another thing, too, I'd like to kind of add to that is if you buy a new piece of equipment that you're not familiar with, a holster, a drop leg holster, anything like that, you really, really want to make sure, number one, that your gun's unloaded when you're testing this out, obviously. But I've seen holsters, that people just slap a gun in there and then it goes click, and luckily it was, unloaded, because you could have just put a hole in your leg or somebody else or whatever. So with the new equipment, new magazines, everything, test it. Get to know your equipment beforehand.
Yeah, test it unloaded. And in all ways you can. One of the things I can't remember, I think it was Clint Smith. He said, all right, put on all your gear. Now get on the ground and roll around. Do some somersaults and then get up. Everything that's left on the ground is stuff you're not going to have when you're in a fight. And that kind of goes to what you're talking about, Michael, where you say, test it, try it, move around with it, do all this stuff with an unloaded gun in your rig that you're going to wear, that you're going to carry, to find out how well does it work. Is there a way for the gun to go off in the holsters? Well, shouldn't be, but who knows?
And one of the things, being a hunter education instructor, we always teach is, the safety is just a mechanical device. It can misfunction or not function at any point in time.
It's a great point. You should never rely on the safety. You have to assume, I guess maybe, we have not said this before. You have to assume that at any given moment, the gun's just going to have a will of its own and go off. We know that's probably not going to happen. But if you kind of had that thought in your head, it would help you to keep it pointed in a safe direction, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Or we hope so.
Well, like you were saying, too, safe direction is very dependent upon your environment. Now, this guy, we didn't know this because my first thing was, well, hey, it should be pointed at the ground or at a safe backstop. But he was, at the ground wouldn't have worked there. He was in an attic.
Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah, if you're in the attic, pointing it down is maybe the worst place you can
Exactly.
point it.
So you really got to be very mindful of your environment and what's beyond your intended target if there is one.
Yeah, it's a shame we have to spell it out, but if you think about it, there really is only one gun rule. Always treat it like it's loaded because the other things just tie in.
That's why
if it's loaded, you're not going to do the next 3 bad things.
There you go.
But you do have to spell it out for people.
Well, this actually brings us to our next caller, line 2. Russell's with us out of Wichita, Kansas. Hey, Russell, you want to follow up on this?
Yes, I sure do. I like a lot of other people, was really shocked when I heard the story about the lady who got shot. But the first question that came to my mind was just how easy was it to deactivate the safety?
On that, if it is a Smith & Wesson M&P, which I was told it was, they do make some with a thumb safety, but my guess is it doesn't have a safety. And if it doesn't have an external thumb safety, then the only safety is the one that's built into the trigger, which you deactivate by pulling the trigger.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not familiar with that type of firearm, and the only gun that really made me think about it was I have a Turnbull 1911 .45, and the safety on it was very, very difficult to operate when I first got the gun. Mm-hmm. And so that's what made me think about it, too.
Yeah, and, as I think about it, there are a lot of people who say, I don't want a striker-fired gun without a thumb safety. Glock, of course, is the one that comes to mind. It was kind of the first of the striker-fired guns without an external safety. They say, I want a thumb safety on it. And I've always said, well, you can train either way. Maybe there's an argument to be made that way. What do you guys think?
I've always been a thumb safety guy. You guys rib me about it all the time. But I practice 1911 style. Worst comes to worst when I'm using my Glock. So what if my thumb runs down the side of the slide in the top of the grip? And there's no safety to deactivate. So what? It's part of the draw stroke.
Yeah. I hate external safeties. I don't carry pistols. I'm not a fan of them, but that's the way I've been trained. I've never really owned one with an external safety, so to add that would be another step in my training regimen. Now, that being said, like Jim said, if you've got a myriad like you do, Tom, of guns, some that do have an external thumb safety, some that do not, you should always train to, during your draw stroke, deactivate that safety.
You don't want to be thinking about what firearm am I pulling out today in the heat of the moment.
Right. That's one of the reasons I try not to switch it up too much, because my brain is broken most of the time, and I don't want to practice I know that sounds terrible. I don't want to practice that, but I have no need to right now.
Well, a lot of people who are using Glocks or striker-fired guns, they don't have that. There's another thought here, Michelle, and that is for law enforcement. I know I go back to Masada Ayub because I think he's such a good writer and thinker, but he's often said he likes the magazine disconnect, which a lot of us really hate the whole idea of it. He said, but there have been several police officers who've been saved when they were fighting with a bad guy, and the guy's trying to get his gun out of the police officer's holster, and the officer is able to punch the mag release and pop the mag out. The guy gets the gun, and he can't shoot the officer because the mag, disconnect is functioning. I'm wondering about thumb safety because there are a lot of folks like Michael and other bad guys. I mean, no, that's not right. And
other guys with exhaust leaks into their truck.
I just woke up.
But there are a lot of people that wouldn't even think about a thumb safety, would not know how to run it if they got it away from you. It's a kind of a weird and long, very strange kind of a thought process to go there.
I honestly do believe, though, that if, God forbid, I was in a physical fight for my life and somebody had pulled a gun with a thumb safety on it, and I managed to, in the heat of the battle, get that away from them and attempt to use it, I really don't, that I would motion toward the safety.
It's interesting you mentioned that. It's an interesting conversation because both at Gunsight and at Thunder Ranch, Shoot Right, Tiger's place. One of the things they do is they take everybody and have everybody put your guns down on the ground, and you have to go in there and pick up a gun and shoot it. So you better know how to run every single gun that's in that pile.
That's a lot different than in the heat of the moment, though.
Their point is not at all.
Well,
you got to do it right now. Blow the whistle, pick it up, shoot it.
All right, I thought you could take it, look at it. Okay, all right. Sorry.
No. Their point is you need to know how to run every single gun you may come in contact with, because you don't know if you may have to do what they call a battlefield pick up a gun. Do you know how to not just run it? Do you know how to clear it? Let's do a malfunction with every kind of gun we can find.
That's brilliant.
Very good training.
Because you may be at a place where you don't have a gun. You're somewhere in, who knows, New York City, and something goes down, and all of a sudden there's a gun on the ground in front of you. You say, I don't know how to run this thing. Or it got jammed. The reason it's on the ground is because it got jammed, and this guy had no idea how to do a malfunction drill on it. You pick it up, you can do a rack tap, tap rack, and then you're back in business, or whatever it takes.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
So if maybe you get together with a bunch of your buddies and say, everybody bring all your different guns, and let's kind of do an orientation so we all know how to run everybody else's gun.
Well, and it's not like I don't have the opportunity to do that, especially with all the students that I have coming through class and everything. And I think what we're going to do is I'm going to bring that up next time and, just kind of run that, because it's just something that every year I try to add something new, many things that work for me into my training regimen. This is another one that has maybe very well found a nice place.
Sounds good. Tell you what, let's take a quick break, and then we got Thomas in Oregon we got to get to. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The 100% American-made Ruger American Rifle is now paired with the 100% American-made Redfield Revolution 4-Plex Rifle Scope, making it an American icon in rifle scope package offering. The Ruger American Rifle with Redfield Revolution Rifle Scope maintains all of the features of the full-size Ruger American Rifle, and also includes a Redfield Revolution 3 to 9x40 rifle scope that offers resettable stainless steel finger-click AccuTrack adjustment. The Ruger American Rifle with Redfield Revolution Rifle Scope, another American-made product from Ruger.
All right, we're back with the after show here. We got Michael, Michelle, and Jim, and me, I'm Tom. And actually, we're going to bring in another Tom here. Thomas is with us out of Sadie, Oregon. Hey, Thomas, did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. How can we help you today?
Congratulations on your 20 years, real quick. And then looking for a new gun for the new year, and I was looking at the Yeti Mossberg. Real cool paint job, 13-in-1. 12 gauge, and all the articles that I've looked so far, it doesn't say if it comes with adjustable chokes. And I was wondering, would that just be a smooth bore? Didn't come with chokes, or
no? I can't even imagine. I don't think they make anything with fixed choke anymore. They all come with screw-in chokes.
Yeah, my dad was saying the same thing, that especially being Mossberg, of course, it would come with adjustable chokes.
Yeah, it's got choke tubes.
I want to use it for a 3-gun competition, and I'm wondering what choke would you recommend to use?
Just depends on what the targets are. Generally speaking, I'm thinking probably an IC or an M, but that's going to depend on the targets. And frankly, I'm not a 3-gunner. So now, do you shoot 3-gun now?
No, but I got 300 blackout, and I got a 1911 and stuff, and I just need the shotgun to start getting into it. So
all you got to do is when you get to the range, just ask the guys there, what choke do you use for this? And whatever they say, screw that in and don't even think about it anymore. And once you made the decision, don't even worry about it.
Okay.
But Mossberg's making really good shotguns for 3-gun. They are really focusing on that these days.
Yes, and I've looked at quite a few of them, and I think the Yeti has just got the coolest paint job of all of them, so that's what sold me. So,
what is it about the paint job that you like?
It's just something completely different than anything I've ever seen before. It doesn't have that, digital camouflage on it. It doesn't have, it has, all types of like paw print, leaf print type things on it. The barrel's painted, the stock's painted. It just looks super cool. Well,
it's just odd looking is what it is. And that's maybe what appeals is it doesn't look like a regular gun.
Yeah, it's something completely different than anything I've ever seen before. And when I think it was a Guns and Ammo, I can't remember what magazine, but when I flipped to that page and I saw that, I had to learn everything I could about it, and I just couldn't find out if it had adjustable chokes. So
okay, now here's the thing to understand. Once you get started shooting 3-gun, if you get serious about it at all, There are a lot of mods you're going to want to do in terms of different carriers and different, all sorts of stuff. And you'll see them on all these guns. And you're going to want to put, what do they call them, stage savers, or where you clip ammo onto the side. Don't worry about that at first. But if you get serious about it, go ahead and rig your gun out the right way, because not having all that stuff on there will actually put you at a disadvantage.
Okay. Well, it's 13-1, so that's why I was thinking it would be a great 3-gun.
It will be. It'll be a great 3-gun. It'll also be a great duck gun, except for the whole being illegal, but that's a whole different thing.
10 rounds too many. Whoops.
Yeah, just 10 rounds too many. Don't worry about that, though. Actually, in some of the late season or spring goose hunts, there is no limit on how many rounds you can have in your gun.
Oh, it must vary state by state quite a bit.
Yeah, it does, but they're trying to shoot the snow geese. And so they're basically, you can use electronic calls. You can have 13 rounds in your shotgun. You can just do all sorts of weird stuff because they're just trying to kill as many snow geese as they can. So, and I'm all for that. But the problem is the snow geese get real smart and they're hard to get in there. So, hey, Thomas, thank you for your call. I appreciate that. But I think the Mossberg Yeti is a good one. By the way, guys, we just did some videos with Mossberg. 2 weeks we'll be able to talk about it. But they've got some really cool new guns coming out.
I love the tease.
Yeah, I know. Michelle just looked at me and we were both like, whatever.
Like what? Come on.
Yeah. He said, well, let's see. One of them's going to be a shotgun.
Oh.
Does that help?
Mossberg and a shotgun. Wow.
Yes.
Who'd have
wow.
thought?
What a surprise.
Pretty soon they'll be known for those.
Which, when you talk about safeties, I have to honestly say Mossberg is probably one of my favorite shotguns, especially to get kids into.
Yeah.
Because that safety is right on the top, and it's so easy to turn off the safety as you're shouldering that shotgun. I just did it. Did you see that?
You just made the motion. You used your thumb and you pushed that top tank safety off, didn't you?
If you can keep the finger away from that trigger guard, the safeties that are down there on the trigger guard, and you talk about gloves and you get all that stuff in the way. Oh, Mossberg's got it.
Yep.
They're the pump release too. I kind of like the location of that a little bit better than some of the other ones. Yeah, they're overall really nice. Don't talk me into a third gun this month.
Hey, Tom, on the term screw in choke, are they screw in or they screw on? Because you really don't want to put anything down inside the barrel, right?
No, the choke goes inside the barrel.
It's screwed in.
It screws in.
Okay, and it goes
the choke tube itself slides into the barrel.
But it's flush.
It's flush mounted at the end.
So the barrel's reamed out to accept that.
The barrel is reamed out to accept it, yes. Exactly correct.
It's not an over-the-top kind of thing. Because I thought I've seen the chokes that go in over the top.
It's like a muzzle brake usually.
Poly choke. Well, door breacher, poly chokes. They're old. They used to
Michelle, we're dating ourselves.
We're too old,
with poly choke. You know that. These guys are going, what?
What?
Say what?
Well, it's because you can't date each other. You have to date yourselves.
We could date each other. It's just that our spouses will kill us. So it's okay.
They're good shots, too, unfortunately.
That's right. They all have training, too, so that doesn't work out.
It's pretty safe, though. We're long distance.
That's true.
Yeah, but now it's all over everywhere.
That's right. So, I may be a long-range shooter, but I can't shoot that far. It's all good.
Yeah.
No, the screw-in chokes were really an amazing development. I remember when Stan Baker was doing that. He was doing aftermarket screw-in chokes on a bunch of guns, and you would send them up to Seattle, and he would do all that. We had him do a 10-gauge. Back when Ithaca, remember the Mag 10?
Yes.
The Ithaca Mag 10.
Of course I would.
Of course you would. That's right. I conned a buddy. Actually, I'll tell you who it was. It's Wade Bourne. A lot of people will know Wade because he does a lot of outdoor TV shows. And he's a real good guy and real smart and all that. But I had one of the first Mag 10s, and the full size. I mean, these things were, I don't know, what were they, 11, 12 pounds? They were huge. And he was coming through there, and he was on his way to a turkey hunt. And I said, well, you want to borrow this? He said, oh, that'd be great, man. 10 gauge would be great turkey. I mean, no one had hunted turkeys with 10 gauge. And so he took this thing out. When he brought it back, he said, USOB. I carried that up and down those hills all over the place. I dragged that thing everywhere. And then I shot a turkey at 20 feet. Could have shot it with a 410,
But he's much stronger because of it.
That's right. He's a better man for it. Exactly right.
If nothing else, it was a cardio program.
That's right. Just take all this weight and go hiking with it. And not to even count the ammo. You start loading up 10-gauge ammo with lead shot.
Yeah, that's a little heavy.
All right, so what are you guys going to do, seriously now, in terms of, if you look at 2015, is there anything you've said, okay, this is something I can do for me, for others, whatever?
I'm going to make our range better. I've actually already started it in 2014.
Okay.
Got a hold of a Bobcat and started moving some dirt around because the berm we had was just kind of like a baby bump.
Okay.
And so we're making a better berm, and it's going to be cool.
If you can find a source, sometimes people have dirt they have to do for excavations, and they just want somebody to haul it off.
Mm-hmm.
If you bring in as much as you can and build up a serious, I'm talking about an 8 or 10 foot high berm, and then if you really want to have fun, put some side walls on it, side berms.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can really do some fun shooting, because you can shoot in more than one direction. You don't have to shoot just straight ahead at the berm.
The range I'm going to now is 180 degrees like that. It's got like a 25-foot tall berm on it, and it is awesome. Yeah, it's right next to an airport, and you can't see the planes flying over the top till they're like way over the top of you. It's pretty cool.
Well, they put shooting ranges near airports. That way they're already getting noise complaints. So
Right, yeah, it's right next to it. It's pretty neat.
See, and I thought side berms went out in the 70s.
No. You call it the Elvis range. You're good to go. By the way, he has his 80th birthday coming up this week.
Yeah, he's still dead, right?
It's mostly, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Wow.
But there you go. Michelle, how about you for the 2015?
I haven't made any serious commitments. I guess our Christmas Day started with shooting a couple of old Smith carbines. You'll know what those are.
Cool.
And then we ended our day reloading some 17 Mach 4 ammunition. So that was a day well spent. So getting outside, taking a little bit more time for us as far as playing and training, not just doing the business side of life. So, yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that, because we have been talking about that and saying, we need to go shooting that's not business related.
Yeah, how often do you shoot Tom without a video camera rolling?
Well, nobody shoots Tom, right?
Yeah, I was speaking to Tom. Let me rephrase that. Tom, comma.
Yeah, we never go out and shoot, because we're shooting all the time, but it's always for the camera. And everything you do for the camera is bad, because you're working for the camera instead of working on your shooting, really. Mm-hmm. So we want to go do more shooting. I want to do more wing shooting. I've kind of gotten away from that, and I love wing shooting a lot. So I want to just make it a point. In fact, we were talking about saying just one day a month, take the half a day off and go. We might even just take the whole staff out. We took them out recently for a shoot, and it's good to get everybody out and have them shoot different things. By the way, for those who would do the secret decoder ring here, we're going to be doing 2 shows from SHOT Show. There's so much new stuff. We're going to do 2 shows from there.
Ooh.
So it's going to be fun stuff. We may. I'm not going to say. We're going to have some news when we get there. So that'll be fun.
There's the tease again.
Wow,
there it goes again.
Yeah, here we are.
It's
a shotgun.
It's a shotgun. Nobody's ever seen one of those before.
Wait, slow down. I'm trying to write this down.
Well, it's like, you guys just got a package in there, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if... I guess we can talk about that.
Well...
But I haven't seen any releases on it. Have you?
Only the release of my finger. It was cool.
But we just got all this stuff in
it's
from
on the
a
website,
manufacturer.
I
don't know.
Oh, yeah.
All right, if it's on the website, we can talk about it. Let's look.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay, the Ruger Elite 452 MSR trigger, the perfect upgrade for any modern sporting rifle. You got yours handy? Let's hear it. That was astounding. That's amazing that you can do that. Now, that's real radio right there. That's compelling.
Hey, can you see this?
Yeah, check this out.
Hold it up to the mic a little closer.
Yeah. Can you smell the oil?
The best part is there's another gun he has to purchase.
Yeah, no, I know. I saw that. My eyes got really big, and then I went, oh.
Damn you, Jim.
So now Michael has to go get an MSR, an AR-15 to go with his trigger.
That's exactly right.
This is excellent marking on Ruger's
I was thinking
behalf.
about just taping it to the side of my SKS so I could feel cool, but now we'll just get it.
What you do is you have it stick out to the side of your SKS.
I got a double trigger SKS. So.
Yeah, this thing's really cool. Check it out.
Right. Yeah, but the thing is, it's not just a drop-in trigger. It's actually the pistol grip.
The whole assembly,
and
the whole assembly.
The weight and ergonomics of this are really sharp.
The safety's cool.
Yeah, the safety is really crisp. I love it. And this is coming from a no safety guy.
We're geeks.
You're such gun geeks. This does nothing for me. I don't understand you people at all. Why do you like this stuff? So you each got your own new trigger, right?
Yep. Just yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to put it in.
I haven't had a chance to put it in yet. Okay, you don't have your AR with you right there. I'm surprised.
No, the concealed carry holster was on back order. So
You don't need one of those, didn't you know?
Yeah, I guess
that's right. Yeah, open carry. Yeah, there you go. So, all right. So, for those who this is an all polymer housing in what they call a fire mechanism.
It's just all in one. It's a great idea. Instead of having to get a trigger job, you just pop in this block and you're done.
What do you figure? 3.5 to 4 pounds,
if that.
Yeah, if that. I think it's 3.5. Yeah,
very nice. It's called the Ruger Elite 452. Available now at shopruger.com for $159.95. Buy now. It was a 2-stage trigger with a smooth, crisp 4.5-pound trigger pull and 30% faster lock time over standard MSRs.
Explain lock time, Tom.
Lock time is the time it takes from when you pull the trigger to when the firing pin actually hits the primer of the cartridge. And why is that important, he says? Well, because the gun is actually going off of target and people say, well, it happens instantly. No, it doesn't, actually. There's some serious time lag.
Okay.
When you pull the trigger and the spring moves, the hammer and everything moves. If you can reduce lock time, you increase accuracy every time.
Makes sense.
It's not as bad as a flintlock, but yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah,
hey, now.
That's actually a good thought. If you think of a flintlock, that's a long, long, long lock time. And every time you reduce that down, you get more accurate. So
I like it.
Shorter, faster lock time is very cool. In fact, this may be the first time I've ever seen a claim for faster lock time, which means they've done some kind of magical stuff to it. This is very cool.
They had their Lucky Charms.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going
magically delicious.
I think I'm going to have to mount it as is. I don't know if I can modify it because the bump stock I have has a grip built into it. So I don't know.
Well, I'll just take the whole rifle off your hands.
Oh, thanks for helping me out like that, Michael.
I'm just wondering. Count on your friends, man. I'm telling you.
Wonder if I'll be able to install that block without the grip and still use the other slide stock.
I think it's all together.
Yeah.
You know what this means, Jim? You just need to get another rifle.
Wait a minute.
Down.
Okay.
We're doing our job, Michelle.
I'm going 308 this time if I do it.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. That'd be great.
I'd like one of those.
Change it.
Yeah. And Ruger's got a very nice 308.
Well, and why duplicate what you already have?
Well, that's right.
Or why duplicate what I already have? Mr. Redundant.
Yeah, because you don't have the 308.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yes, you should get one of those.
For me.
And I think your wife would enjoy that too, though.
I don't know about a 308, although they don't recoil as much as like the other 30 cals, for example, 30-06.
No, what you do is you get the 308 and a suppressor.
Hey, Jim, I really like the fact you spent $600. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, and I heard this guy talking earlier in the program about using lighter weight bullets, making the recoil easier.
Yeah.
So, if you're shooting out, here's an interesting little factoid. The recoil is a factor of the weight of the rifle, right? And the velocity and the total mass of everything that goes out the barrel. And that's bullet and powder. So if you increase the powder charge, the recoil gets heavier also.
Okay.
So if you reduce the weight of the bullet, you'll be reducing the weight of the powder charge also, so you get a double reduction.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
There you go. They're all going, they're rolling their eyes. Yeah, here he goes, geeking out on us again.
I was with you the whole time.
Of course you.
You're fired.
We need to get these guys into reloading. That's what we need to do.
Well,
I thought you were going to say we need to get them into rehab.
Well,
I thought for sure that's where you were going.
Do they have
I
reloading
teach a rehab
rehab?
class.
They have gun rehab. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Just buy one this month, sir.
My name is Jim. I'm a gunaholic.
Hi, Jim.
Yeah.
That's right. My name's John Browning. Okay, well, you've got other problems then, if you think that. You're in the wrong room, dude. Yeah.
God.
All right, let's get the heck out of Dodge and go. You guys have trigger mechanisms to go put into firearms.
Yes.
I'm shopping
do.
for a firearm.
You do.
Yeah.
Because you have a firearm to put it into.
That's right.
You know what you could do? You could bring your gun over and let Michael put his trigger mechanism into yours, and then he'd take it back out. That's what it would be like if you actually had a real gun, Michael.
Nice.
Mr. Kalashnikov himself.
Yeah. Well, you get what you get,
So I'm going through the store yesterday. I'm in the Sam's Club, and there's this little girl. She's probably like 7, and she walks past me, and on the back of her shirt, it says Kalashna Kitty. And it's got a picture of a little AK. Cool. Okay, I like that. That's pretty cool. Her dad had some kind of a gun thing on his shirt.
Just don't wear it to school.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's a topic for another day.
Yes.
Yes, it is. All right, guys. Well, we have kicked off 2015. We're moving ahead toward 20 years of this insanity.
Yay. That's exciting.
So far, so good. If they don't kick us off before March, we'll actually make it. But you never know. That stuff happens.
We'll get good at it one day.
I kind of doubt that. That's not.
Let's not push it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going a little bit too far. You guys have a great week, and we'll pick this up again on the next Sunday.
Be safe, buddy.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, how did you like basking in the glow of the Gun Talk After Show? I just made that up. We hang around and talk a little more after the radio show every week. You can get it on your computer, iPhone, iPad, and we have a new Gun Talk app that makes it real easy for your Android or iPhone. And we're always hanging out at guntalk.com. Next week, Tom, Jim, Michelle, and Michael will be hanging around after the radio show for another Gun Talk After Show. We hope to see you right here then. Bye.